Hey, what's up, my friends? This is Dave Sharpe. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. You are in for a copywriting treat today. If you want to know how somebody like myself, or really quite frankly, any of the marketers that I know who are successful long term, then they have learned this skill set and they've mastered this skill set over time. And so today I'm going to give you guys something that I highly consider turning into a course, but I'm going to give you a condensed version of it today. And I think after you get done with this particular episode, you're going to have a lot of insight into how to use this thing right here. Okay. This thing right here, your keyboard. Okay. Now your keyboard may look a little bit different than mine. Okay. Mine is it's a, a wireless Bluetooth keyboard here that came with this Mac that I'm on right now. But I'm going to show you how to use this keyboard and to not even use your voice. Okay. This skill that we're going to talk about today doesn't even have anything to do with your voice. Okay. It has to do with your fingertips, and it has to do with you using words in a specific way that can bring you more traffic, more leads, more sales, and help you to scale your business, okay? And to be successful long-term. I don't know, let me say this real clear up right on the front end of this show today. I don't know anybody who's successful as a digital marketer, whether that be as an affiliate marketer, a course creator, coach, running events, in any way, shape, or form selling information, or even e-commerce, Amazon, any of that. So I don't know anybody who's wildly successful who at least does not have some copywriting skills. All right. So let that marinate here for a second. And let me make sure I got my keyboard right as I set it back down on my desk. And let's jump into this. Okay. I have some slides that I'm going to share with you guys. And, who is fired up before I even get into this? Who's excited to learn about copywriting today? Okay, let me see you guys in the comments. Brad, good morning. Ashley, good morning. Ryan Higgins, Julian, good morning. Maria, Giovanni, James Little, good morning. Margarita, Scott. All right, here we go. All right, let me make sure I got my slides. Let me make sure I got my slides pulled up here. All right. Get out of that. All right. Hold on a second. Let's see here. Let me get back to the screen. All right. All right. Sweet. All right. Let me know if you guys can see my screen. Okay. In the comments, let me know if you guys can see my screen. We're going to be talking about the 6 C's of copywriting. And this is going to be, one of the reasons why using little kind of, simple reminders or acronyms or things of that nature is because it does help you to be able to, simplify things and then remember things. When you were a kid, you sang songs to remember the states, or the other day our 4-year-old sang us a song about all the continents, and it was a little catchy tune. So these 6 C's are basically going to encapsulate everything that you need to know, or a lot of what you need to know in order to write really good email and landing page copy. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to go and show you some actual how these principles have how I've used these principles in the actual marketing material here at Legendary Marketers. So you're going to see real live examples in this. Okay, so let's get into this. Okay, how many of you guys are fired up? Let me hear you. Let me see you in the comments. I can't hear you, of course, but let me see you in it. I'll pretend that I can hear you. All right. I also want to say that we have a copywriting product. It's called the Copy Playbook, and you can find it at thecopyplaybook.com. And If you already have an account with Legendary Marketer, when you go to check out, just use your current account logins. You know, you would just use your, if you're logged in, it would just take you to a checkout page with a one-click ability to be able to check out. So that would also make it easier to purchase this. It's only $1. So this is not a big stretch here today. But let me tell you why I would recommend that you get this product is because inside of this program, we're going to teach you a lot. And I may even give you a behind the scenes look at this program here, but you can go to thecopyplaybook.com and you can check it out. There's an incredible amount of information. We should not, it is a crime that we're, offering this for $1. It is a crime. But we did a test to use it as a front end product to just give people an appetizer of what Legendary was about. And quite frankly, we've never changed it. So it still sits there today at $1. If you don't own this program, I'd highly recommend that you grab it simply because copywriting, well, I said it a couple of minutes ago, I don't know anybody who's a great copywriter who or who's a great marketer, successful marketer, who is not at least somewhat knowledgeable about copywriting. But let me give you these 3 C's and then I'll show you how they play out in some of our marketing material here at Legendary. So the first C is you want your copy always to be clear. Okay. You can write these down. These are not going to be difficult to remember. It's not going to be a lot of note taking today. You can easily write these down or even create your own slide. And sort of hang this up somewhere or have it in a little swipe file. I'll tell you and teach you about what a swipe file is here in a second and why you would want a swipe file. Actually, if you go and you purchase the Copy Playbook, you may have a chance to grab our swipe file. If you do at any point have a chance to begin to build a swipe file for yourself, then I'd highly recommend that you do that because all great copywriters have a swipe file, meaning that there's various ads or pages or so forth that they've grabbed, things that they've seen that they kind of swipe it, they put it in a file and they save it for a day to where they need some inspiration or some ideas. Okay. That's all great copywriters do that. So the first C, back to these 6 C's. The first C is clear. You want your copy to be clear. You want your headlines to be clear. You want to use as few words as possible. A lot of times when I go and try to, when I'm writing a headline, just a simple blog post headline or an email headline or a headline that's going to go above a sales video, I obsess over it because I want to make it more clear. Okay. I also want to make my headlines. And we were talking yesterday to Spencer Meekum. We were talking about just even how he creates his TikTok videos. His channel, he's blown up to 240,000 subscribers in 3 months. How has he done that? Each sentence builds curiosity for the next sentence. If you've ever read a great book, what does the first page make you want to do? Read the second page. Right? So your copy should build curiosity each and every sentence. The headline should build curiosity to read the subheadline. The subheadline should build curiosity to read the lead, we call it. The lead in is the first paragraph 2 or 3 that leads in to the email or the sales video. Curiosity is huge. Creating the curiosity to make a lot of you guys give it all away on the, you sort of give it away on the first date. People can prejudge what it is that you're going to talk about in your video or in your email by just reading the headline. I'm going to talk to you about affiliate marketing using Etsy. Well, as soon as you start mentioning terms that people are familiar with, that they've heard 1,000 times, they're going to automatically turn off their brain is not going to be as activated. Okay. There's been multiple studies. You can research them yourself to where when somebody is, presented with a novel concept, a novel idea, they're, they would do scans of the brain in this particular study that I remember. I can't cite it, and I'm sorry. I feel bad that I can't do that. But again, you can do some simple Google research about novelty in brain reactions. If a person has seen something, or they feel like they've seen it before, they're going to be less interested in it. Whereas if they've not seen it before, they're going to have peak interest in it. I can remember when I was a little kid in school, I would get a pair of like maybe Jordans or something at some point, and if the kids had already felt like they'd seen those before, they'd go, "Man, I've seen those before." But if nobody had ever seen them before, they go, "Damn!" Like that was the first time they'd ever seen them before. And that's why you see that play out. You don't really need to read a study you apply common sense. If you're a lady and your girl, you come through at a party or a get together with a purse that nobody's seen before, dang, honey, oh my God, I've never, right? Same thing with guys with watches or with, shoes or a jacket or a bag. It doesn't matter. Or even a piece of marketing, right? So in this industry, or in, this industry, or really any other industry, if the person who's reading or watching what you have to say feels like they've seen it or heard it before, then they're going to prejudge and be less interested. So I'll show you sort of how that plays out here in a second. The third C is compelling, right? Now, there's an art to advertising to where you don't want to lie or embellish, but you want to use words. You want to use stories. You want to use things that are compelling, that bring a certain amount of hype to every time that I write a headline for one of these shows, or every time that I write a headline for an email or a sales video or a blog post. I want it to be compelling. I want I want it not only to be clear, I want it to build a bit of curiosity. I also want it to be compelling, meaning that, there's many ways that I can make something compelling. I can make it compelling with a powerful story. I can make it compelling with a powerful benefit or promise. I can make it compelling with a powerful testimonial of somebody that's getting results, or a result that I've gotten with something. So there's ways that I can make things compelling, but making something compelling, too many people are boring with their marketing. The last thing that you want to be, this is not the B's of copywriting, because the only one that I would be able to put there is boring. You just don't want it to be boring. You want it to be compelling, interesting, right? And the beautiful thing about copywriting is that, you have the power to sit and think as you're writing the words, and test different words in different places so you can make it more compelling. It's literally like sitting there and painting a painting, but you have an eraser. It's not final. You can type a couple of words out. Is that a compelling headline? Oh no, let me change that around, so on and so forth. All right. The fourth is concise. The less words, the better. There's an app that I use. It's called the Hemingway app. You can write that down, and you can go and Google that, and it'll come right up. It's called the Hemingway app. Hemingway app. And the Hemingway app you could actually paste your copy into that particular app, and it will tell you if sentences are hard to read. So not only do you want your copy to be as concise as possible, and I actually believe that nowadays the more concise the better, just because attention spans are a lot shorter than they used to be. We used to write these big long sales letters, and an hour sales letter, a sales video would be, the longer the better. But nowadays, the more concise the better. So prove your point in as few words as possible. But also, this is key, when you're writing, make your sentences in your paragraphs as concise as possible. Did you guys ever notice that when you're reading one of our emails, we never use more than 2, at most 3 sentences in a paragraph? And sometimes after every single sentence, we use a space. The reason why that is because, have you ever came across a post on Facebook that was just one big giant clump of text? How hard that is to read. It's like your eyes just get lost in it. So we not only want our copy to be concise, we want our words to be concise. We also want our sentences in our paragraphs to be concise, because then they're easier to read. Okay. Maybe you've also noticed with a lot of copywriters who send emails out, they will write only a couple of words and then return space and start a new, instead of letting the sentence run on the entire width of what they could write. They hit return, so it's a very thin sentence, meaning it's only a couple of words long, 5, 6, 7, 8 words long, and then return, boom, over. Because the further the eye has to travel over to the right as it's reading, the more it's going to get tired, the more it's going to get sick of reading. But if the eyes can all stay, it's sort of like what I've done right here on this slide that you see. Instead of putting them all in one long line from left to right, I've put them on top of each other, and they're easier to read like that. And this is also how I write my emails and even my sales letters or blog post. Okay. Facebook actually did a study that the ideal width was 500 pixels wide. And that is why their timeline in which the content is posted on Facebook is 500 pixels wide. All right. Credible. You want your copy to be credible. Now, there's many different ways that we use credibility in various posts. A lot of times you'll see copywriters, they'll quote studies, they'll reference other articles, they'll reference news sites. You can also use testimonials. Credibility can be built in many, or established in many different ways. I'm going to show you a couple of examples. I've actually been featured in a couple of publications. So you'll see featured in Forbes and Entrepreneur on landing pages and so forth. We use that as a credibility piece. But there's credibility stacked in Legendary Marketer all the way through. We use testimonials all the way through. We have other people. We have the Wake Up Show. We have other people who people talk to, advisors and so forth. There's a lot of people involved. There's a lot of elements of credibility. We've earned that credibility. We've built that credibility. We are credible. And if you're brand new, one of the best ways to establish credibility is to use other people's stories, right? Even to this day, I tell other people's stories. It's not always about me. So I often tell other people's stories, because it adds different flavors, different dynamics, demographics, ages, all kinds of things. It allows different people to relate to different stories. But each and every story, the more proof, we call it social proof. The more social proof that somebody can see that other people are doing it, succeeding with it, examples of other people doing it, the more they're going to feel that it's a credible source. All right. So credibility is the fifth, and last but not least, a call to action. This is the foundation of direct response marketing, right? Which is what we're doing. We're doing direct response marketing. We're not just putting up billboards and hoping people find us. We're placing ads, wanting people to click on them, give us a direct response. We're writing emails, wanting people to click on them, give us a direct response. We're writing sales videos or having sales offers on a page. There's only one offer. There's only one thing to do. We're asking for a direct, specific response. So every blog post, email, ad, sales page should have a call to action. And a lot of people miss this, and they're not clear. See, these pieces go together too, because clarity and call to action are really important, compelling call to action, right? I'll show you a couple of examples here. How many of you guys are loving this? This is making sense. I want to just come back over here and check my comments here real quick and make sure you guys are still with me. And this is all resonating. You were able to take all of that down. Everybody got that? Everybody good? Let me come back over here. I've got a small delay. So here, let me go over and show you a couple of examples of good calls to action. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen. I know I'm not sharing it. All right. Great stuff. Good. Awesome. Cool. All right. Here we go. All right. So My mouse is acting a little bit wonky here. I think it's low on battery. All right, so let's go over here to our blog, right? So one of the things that we're doing is taking these, and this is an example of repurposing content, right? We're taking the content from our wake up shows and we're repurposing them into blog posts. All right. So you can see that the blog post, has the body of the content there, and then down at the end, I'm gonna show you a couple of examples of a good, clear, compelling call to action. I've actually got two of them here. Now, this could be the same inside of an email, and it could be the same inside of a sales video. So I've gone through the entire blog post here, and then at the end it says, when it comes to creating an online business, it doesn't have to be all or nothing. It's something you can ease into and do part-time and still get somewhere. Victor is an example of that. If you want to learn more successful marketing tips, just like the ones Victor uses here to grow your online business, check out this video while access is still free, right? That's an example of a call to action, and it's clear and it's compelling. Now, here's another one. I've got this big yellow button down here at the bottom, right? For anyone who wants to start a profitable online business but doesn't know where to begin. And there's a button right there that takes people right over to our landing page. All right. So that would be an example of how we've used a clear call to action inside of a blog post. Now we go over here to this landing page. There, first and foremost, if we talk about clear, right? For anyone who wants to start an online business but doesn't know where to begin, that is clear. It's also curiosity driven, especially when you go down and it's compelling, because when you now read the subheadline, discover how I started an online business that earns high ticket commissions, marketing valuable products people already want to buy, right? So we've got clarity, we've got it's clear, it's compelling, okay? Credible. Well, one of the first things you see here is a like button. We've actually taken the like button from my Facebook fan page and embedded it here on this. So 55,000 people like that. You wonder, why is that there? Well, it's a credibility piece. Then you go down here for these testimonials. If you click on them, they pop up. They tell somebody's story. We've got various people, different ages, different sexes, right? Different backgrounds. So people could have a different perspective there as far as that, as far as hearing, somebody else's experience, which is just going to add more credibility. This is not the most concise landing page in the world, but it is, in the sense, when you look at how the content is laid out. It's all laid out in a curiosity. In bullet points are always concise. Bullet points. Adequate white space here. And if you read these bullet points, you're getting access to the #1 high ticket business model to launch online, newbie friendly. Why low ticket business models are keeping you broke. Huge curiosity there. See the math, right? Download all my high ticket templates, scripts, and funnels. All this is super curiosity based, right? You still don't know there's so much curiosity. I don't want to give away the farm here on this landing page. You go down here on this particular landing page, I've got a bio, that's not the case with every single landing page that we have, that we have like a long bio. You can kind of come down here and see with some of these landing pages that we have for this particular funnel that I'm referencing. There's other ones that kind of look, that don't have all the extra pieces. And this is probably something that I would more along the lines, modeling something like this is more what I would recommend you to do. In this particular case, obviously you can see clarity, concise, and curiosity is all right here in this headline and subheadline. Same words as the other one, but it's just, it's all about that clarity and that concise aspect. It's concise, it's short, it's to the point. and I see people making a big mistake with their landing pages a lot of times. And the reason why I'm focusing right now on landing pages is just because you guys are, when you're starting out, a lot of you guys are making landing pages, and I just see you putting too much stuff on them. You're just putting too much on your landing page. You don't need all that different stuff that you've got on your landing page. This landing page, this example that I gave you over here is it's right on the brink of being too much. Like this is about the maximum amount of content that you would want on a landing page. But you can see that if somebody was to read every single thing on this, there's so much curiosity and it's so compelling, right? That you would have to opt in, right? If you took the time to read everything, if you were even remotely within our target audience or our target prospect niche, I don't give anything away. Even though we're going to talk about affiliate marketing and ultimately we're going to teach people about the core 4 business models of selling education online, I'm not using words that are regularly recognized, like affiliate marketing, like course creation, like coaching, because people will prejudge that. People have heard those terms so often that they'll prejudge it, and I would likely lose them. So you notice that I don't use affiliate marketing at all anywhere on this landing page. I don't use coaching. I don't use courses. None of that on this landing page. If we go back over to this one though, which is is like most marketers inside of our community, and including us. I mean, whenever we're running a campaign, I'd probably even favor this landing page over the other one just because it's more clear and concise. It's compelling. You can see the credibility factors here too. We've not only have the like button here, but we've also added the Forbes Entrepreneur CBS. If you can't add those pieces, that's fine. It's not going to make or break your landing page if you don't have these credibility pieces. It's just something to keep in mind. Even this, believe it or not, even this disclaimer down here adds credibility to this page, because the number one thing that people are looking for or that are looking out for on the internet is scams. They're looking out for, and is this real, right? And they should be, right? There is a lot of BS. There is a lot of guru entrepreneur gurus who are out there looking to take advantage of people and then sell them something and then disappear, right? But even this, what's interesting is even the way that we wrote this disclaimer is, it's kind of compelling, you know what I mean? And it adds credibility. It basically says this is not a get rich quick program, and we don't believe in overnight success, blah, blah, blah. If you're not willing to accept that, please, in all caps, do not purchase any products from us, right? So you can create credibility by pushing people away. You know what I mean? And that's one of the easiest ways to do that. I mean, you could do the same thing in the health niche. Like if you were like, this is not an overnight get skinny program, get skinny quick program. There is going to require work and discipline. And if you're not willing to accept responsibility, then please do not purchase any products from us. That adds credibility, believe it or not. I remember a day when even I was a little bit like, oh gosh, I don't want to put disclaimers and disclosures and all this kind of stuff. That's gonna get people to, second guess doing business with us. But I grew up, I matured over the years, and I realized that not only am I adding credibility to my marketing by using disclosures and disclaimers like this, but I'm also probably repelling people who are going to be, a pain in my ass, quite frankly, who are going to be coming in and expecting me to do everything for them. They're going to take no responsibility and be the victim if it doesn't work out the way that they want it to. So if you look through this content, this is just one of our marketing funnels. You see a lot of like first and foremost, you see a lot of white space, don't you? Like this is one of the big things about copywriting that I think a lot of people miss. Here's another landing page. It's clear, it's concise, it's compelling. There's a lot of white space, right? You don't want, like, a lot of people come in and they think that design is so important. It's not. Design is so low on the importance factor. You wouldn't even believe it. Like nobody cares. As a matter of fact, the more design, the more flash and trash on your page, the more schemy and the more amateur it's going to look. Let me say that again. The more bells and whistles, colors, design, the more skeptical people are going to be, because it's almost like you're trying to dress something up, you know? Like think about if you see a person that's like got a pound of makeup on and that you can just tell, it's like, what are we hiding? You know, and I don't mean to target women. Men do that same thing, right? We try to look, we men do all kinds of dumb stuff. Like I always wonder, you know, here's a guy, he loves his guns and his big trucks, and what's he hiding, you know? I just want to take a stab at guys there. I didn't want to seem misogynistic there, but I think you guys get the point. Less is more, right? Less is more. I actually would like to relate that analogy to marketers. A lot of times I believe that marketers spend a lot of time on their website designs and everything because they don't know what the hell they're doing. And they would instead, you know, oh, I can do this design stuff. I'm going to go over here and screw around on Canva or screw around on Wix or whatever and try to make my site pretty. And then there's tons of pretty sites that are floating out in the internet world that nobody knows about. They're islands. They're like the Bermuda Triangle. Nobody wants to go there. Nobody goes there. They avoid it. So, you know, if you look at our sales page, you can sort of see the same, you know, you can see that same theme. Lots of white space. I've got congruency, which could be the seventh C there. Congruency. You see congruency from my ad or my landing page. I haven't showed you an ad on this, but if I was to show you an ad for ads that we run for this particular offer, they're congruent. They use similar language. If somebody clicks on an ad and then they come to a landing page, I want them to be like, okay, I'm on the right path. I see familiar words. It's a familiar theme. It's a familiar look in design, right? And since there's so much white space, you know, on our pages, I will show you just a quick ad, just so you can kind of see. My mouse is acting so wonky. It's like, I feel like it's on its last leg. I need to plug it in. All my designs, let me go here and try to find maybe I am in all my designs. Am I? All my designs. No, I'm not. Okay. All right. So let me see if this is our, no, it's not. Well, this is an ad that I made for a guy who was he was working with helping people quit smoking as a hypnotist. And these were the actual ads that I made him. You know what I mean? Why? I mean, they've got an image, but it's plenty of white space. And you know what's the most important part of this ad is the words, and that they're clearly able to be read. You know what I mean? That they're clearly able to be read. Look at this one. Want to finally quit? I quit in 24 hours. ... Compelling. Curiosity. Right? Now, if you clicked on this ad and it had tons of white space, and then you went over to a site that had reds and purples and, oh my gosh, it's so busy, you'd be like, is this the same thing? Like, am I actually at the site that am I actually here in the place that I'm supposed to be? So, you know, you can see how important, I hope that you're sort of getting and understanding. These are some ads that we created for, and these almost had too much design. Sometimes platforms like Facebook will actually reject your ads if they have too much going on them. So these, when we've marketed, for example, our affiliate marketing book, we've used ads like this, which have so much white space. I just want to give you guys an idea of the power of this idea of white space, of clarity, of the fact that you can take all of the pressure off yourself in terms of this design fantasy that most people come in thinking that's really important. Okay. Um, so, uh, anyways, one other thing that I want to point out, just in terms of even us selling this, for example, our challenge, in there's areas that were clear, but it's always clear with curiosity. So we're not giving away the entire farm and telling sort of what's behind the scenes of everything. If you read any of this stuff, you'll see that there's a compelling story, the reason why I'm doing this. Even the bullet points here, the descriptions of the bonuses and so forth are super curiosity driven and very compelling. It's not an exact description of what's in each thing word for word or page by page, right? Because it's sort of like you want to find the balance between being as clear as possible about what they're getting, but still maintaining that curiosity and that compelling, making it compelling. Okay. So you'll see that theme amongst sort of all of our marketing material. Even this is another example of sprinkling in the credibility. This is a picture of our checkout page, and we've got testimonials all down the side of the checkout page. We've also got various different badges and so forth, and various different, we've got our customer service email right there. Your information is safe, secure checkout, because we want to add credibility to the checkout page. Even as they're checking out, remind them all the way through the process that it's trusted, it's credible. There's lots of curiosity still, because people are commenting and they're more anxious now to get into the program and see what's back there. And I would even also add that under the category of compelling is urgency and scarcity. So if you see up at the top, we've added a hurry, this offer won't last long, to add an element of urgency. And at any time we could pull this down and we could take away the bonuses. We've often said, it's not fake scarcity, because we have changed the offer multiple different times, and that offer could evolve. Some could be taken away, some could be added to it, but we want to give people that, that push, hurry, this offer won't last long. So in urgency and scarcity, I would put under the category of compelling. How do you make something compelling? Through stories. You make it compelling through benefits, big promises, through scarcity, through urgency. Okay. So, I would urge you guys, once again, like I said, to go over, to grab this copy playbook, because, and this is, if you go to the copy playbook, this is sort of what you're going to, this is what you're going to get. You can read through this. Okay. This is an example of, because we're selling a copywriting course here, we wanted to write some long form copy, right? It would only be appropriate, but you can see everything that's included. And what you'll notice, even in these bullets, and this is a great example of that, is that they're all the bullets, even as we're describing what's in part 1, part 2 of the course, you can see that we're using what we call fascinations, right? Bullet point fascinations, which is a way to describe something in a fascinating, compelling way, but not giving away the farm to where somebody can prejudge it and feel like, oh, the biggest thing, oh, I've already seen this before, or I've already learned this somewhere, right? The biggest challenge that we have oftentimes with our offers, whether it be even if you're an affiliate, sending them to see something, is them feeling like they've seen it before. So, you can read through this. Reading copy is always a great idea, because the more you read of great copy, the better it'll sort of the better it'll make sense to you about what great copy actually is versus what you think great copy is, which when I first got started, I had no idea. And then there's a couple of bonuses that I'm going to give you inside of this course. Remember, this is just $1. I really recommend that you go and pick this up. I'm going to give you cliff notes of one of my favorite copywriting books. I'm going to give you a 250 headline email swipe file. Okay, so 250 different headlines that you can use in emails, but you could also use them in your YouTube videos, your TikTok videos, your blog posts. You just adjust them a little bit. I'm going to give you a 20-minute client formula as well, which is how I basically took somebody's story and quickly turned it into an ad. Actually, I wrote them a big idea bridge page video, but it's very compelling. We've got several hot seat critiques that we've done with various clients. We included that in there, and then one of the most valuable bonuses is various different sales letters, emails, ads, webinar templates from my $250 million course in coaching business over the last 10 years, to where I'm actually just going to give you the actual sales letters, emails, ads, webinars, all that. Guys, this is a no-brainer. You know what I mean? This is like, and if you already have the challenge, then disregard this, but we just have this as a bonus, the challenge. If you don't have the challenge, I would just recommend that you go over and pick this up at thecopyplaybook.com. That's the domain right there, thecopyplaybook.com. Maybe you guys could, if any of you guys could post it, maybe we've done it, but if all you guys posted that link into the comments as you're watching this, maybe it'd make it easier for others who want to pick this up to go and grab it. And remember, if you already have an account here, just enter in the email that you've used before, and it'll just get credited to your existing account, and whoever your affiliate is would get credit for that as well. If remember, many people here have been referred by somebody, and we want to make sure that they get credit if for all of the people that they have shared this education with. So anyways, so that's basically my that's basically what I wanted to share with you guys today. And I highly recommend that you go and develop this skill, learn this skill. If I think about back 10 years ago, one of the things that sort of got my career started and has kept it going strong to this day is writing copy, is learning how to use the written word. Mel, congratulations. You're a future rock star copywriter. Good job. Anybody else who picked it up, if you want to let us know in the comments, we'd love to shout you out. And maybe you guys could, find an accountability partner that you could work with for a couple of weeks, to where you could critique each other's copy. Of course, if you are a Business Blueprints member, you can come on our webinars on Thursday. We'll critique your copy. And then if you're in the Marketers Club, you have an additional Monday webinar that you can come on. Both are at 3 p.m. Eastern time. And if you've written an ad or you've written an email, we'll critique it. We'll give you feedback on it. We'd like you to have launched it, be running some traffic to it, take some action. The last thing that I'm going to leave you with is sort of a principle of how can I know if what I've done is good, and a lot of times we want to sort of guarantee before we buy something, before we write something and launch something, is this going to work? But let me ask you a question. When you go to a financial planner or a stockbroker, do they say, I guarantee this stock is going to do 15% for you over the next 12 months? Right? When you buy anything, do they guarantee that it's going to be perfect, exact? No, that idea doesn't exist in life, right? Now you may get 30-day money back guarantees. Those sort of risk reversals exist, but there's no guarantees. When you get pregnant, you don't have any guarantee about what your baby's going to turn out like. I mean, that's just life. That's the most raw and sort of just real world example. We just don't know. So the best way to know if your copy is good is to launch it and see what the response is. To launch it, see what the response is. Let the marketplace tell you. Sure, we'll help you to critique. What I like to do, and the best way that I like to coach people, is have them launch something and then use the feedback. Maybe there's some feedback, comments, leads, sales. And if there's no feedback, then that's also feedback, right? If it totally flopped, if it got no traffic, leads, or sales, or if you launched an ad and it got no comments or likes or whatever. But I just want to remind you guys that part of this process of getting feedback and then improving is actually letting the marketplace give you feedback. And sometimes you'll be wildly surprised. A piece of copy that you write, you'll launch it, you'll think it's going to bomb. It does great. People go crazy over it. And sometimes something that you think is really awesome is crap, So either way, every day you should be writing one idea. Okay. This is an old copywriting rule. One idea a day. And that idea is in the form of an email, typically, or an ad, right? Could be in a blog post, but mostly it's in an email or an ad. One idea. What that does, and when I say one idea, every email and ad is an idea. You have an idea. You either see somebody and it inspires you, it gives you an idea, or you come up with the idea yourself. So write one idea a day inside of an email or an ad. And if you write one idea a day, then you'll become a better copywriter. Within 12 months, you could be a professional master copywriter. Think about that for a second. And whether you decide to continue to be an affiliate marketer or whether you want to create multiple streams of income and advertise your copywriting services to other people out there, that you now, let me say it this way, you control your destiny. And these skills can allow you to write your own paycheck versus have somebody else write your paycheck for you. All right. And I know that's what each and every one of you wants, because why? It's what we all want. We want more financial freedom. We want more time freedom. We want to be able to do the things that we love to do. And I'm going to tell you something. Even if you don't love to write, you will begin to love to write, because when you can realize how much power your fingertips have, just banging on this keyboard, right? Just banging on this keyboard, or even banging on this phone. It's a powerful, powerful, powerful thing. So have a great weekend. Go in, once again, pick up the Copy Playbook if you can, if you have an extra $1 laying around and you want to learn a skill that will be more valuable to you than just about anything that you ever learn in marketing, then go pick up the Copy Playbook, okay? You can see it right down here, thecopyplaybook.com. I'll go back over my 6 C's of copywriting one more time. Clear, curiosity, compelling, concise, credible, and then, as always, a call to action. And guys, we will see you back here Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern time for Wake Up Legendary. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Be legendary, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.